Welcome everyone to the Dave Knows Wrestling live stream. I am your host, David Lee, and joining me is my special guest.
Hey, Stephen James. How you doing?
Yeah, and tell everybody, where is Stephen James from?
I am the play-by-play announcer for Capital Wrestling, which you can catch every Friday. Oh, I'm sorry. Now it's every Monday, 7:05, twitch.tv/Capital Wrestling. Just changed time slots so many times.
I just realized, do you need to adjust your chair? Because I didn't realize.
No, I made myself look shorter.
Way too short. He is way taller than me in real life.
I'm just trying to balance it out.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, whoa, wait a minute. That ain't accurate. Hey, what is up? Jay Savo, Warhawk Rambo, too sweet. What is up, Grim Tim Tim? Hey. Yeah. So, as you guys know, I was not on Friday. If you guys are following me on Twitter, you might have seen I've been advertising the 10-year anniversary of my improv troupe show, and that was last night, so my whole day was thrown off. So I'm here today, Saturday show, instead of the Friday show because of that improv show, which was yesterday. And it features many prominent people, if you're fans of this channel, that you might remember cast on Monday Night Wrong. So it was a big deal for all of us. So that's finally out of the way so I could get back onto today being today. So what's going on here? What's up, Dave and the Bearded Guy?
Bearded Guy, yeah.
Stephen James. Great play-by-play commentator, by the way, I have to point out. Capital Wrestling, a lot of fun. Been to his shows, definitely going to more. And if you guys are in the area and you guys can check out, go to Hoboken and any of the areas. And once again, if you're following me on Twitter, I definitely retweet a lot of their stuff and want you guys to check it out. So if you're in the area, totally check out Capital Wrestling.
March 24th, our one-year anniversary show, 301 Garden Street in Hoboken. Go to capitalwrestling.com for tickets and more information. There's a lot of good stuff. I'll be there. Dave will be there. And, yeah, it'll be a good night.
Yeah, and even if you beautiful bastard.
Nice.
And even if you're not in the area, they stream on Twitch, and you can find them, like he says, you can find them on Monday nights. All right, so, that's Chucky. Oh, it's my friend Chucky.
Oh, so you're the beautiful one.
I don't know. I have no idea. He could be talking to you. I'm not sure.
Beautiful. It's okay.
What's up, Clarence Price? Raw Critic, what is up? What's up, guys? All right, so today's Saturday show is going to be a little different, so a lot of you guys can join us who haven't been on or don't get a chance to on Friday afternoons because, work or whatever. So at least this gets us an opportunity to be around on a Saturday. Okay, yeah, stream, yeah, Pascal. All right, so we definitely have a lot of things to talk about. Not only are we going to do fake, real fake this week, we're also going to look at the Fastlane predictions, and I will be delivering the gambling odds, as you know I likes to do. And also, hey, what's up, Andy Orford? And also, before we get to all that, happy Saturday to you, Danny, in Oak Park. But before we get to that, we have a weekend review to catch up on because a lot of stuff happened this week.
Tons of stuff.
Yeah.
as we approach Fastlane, which we talked about before, perhaps one of the ones that we're the least interested in at this point.
Yeah. I never thought I would feel this way, but I think Fastlane is the equivalent to Sunday Night Heat. I think that's what this is.
Where's a Val Venus versus Kurgan match when you need it?
Yes. It's an extended Sunday Night Heat as far as I'm concerned. Salutations, Andrew. Did you watch the Ring of Honor pay-per-view last night? No, because with that improv show, I am so behind on so many things, it's not even funny.
I heard great things about it. The reviews that people were saying, I didn't get a chance to catch it either, but most people's response were, it's going to be better than Fastlane already, and yeah. It's shooting fish in a barrel, but still.
You know what was weird? This is kind of off topic. After the improv show, which is just weird how, I think my age is bell curving, we went to Applebee's. Because, when you're younger, Applebee's is a fine place to go, and then you get older, and then you stop going. Then you get old enough again where it becomes, an option.
It's this is a fine establishment. It's not a fine establishment. It's not a fine establishment.
So we went to Applebee's, but they had New Japan on.
Really?
And I'm like, oh, I'm in.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm like, it ain't that bad. I was
Applebee's is now the place to be.
Yeah, New Japan was on. I was like, what? Half price advertisers.
I don't think I've ever walked into a restaurant or anything like that that's even had Monday Night Raw, with the exception of WWF New York.
Hooters.
I would hope that WWF New York would have had them on. It's got
No, they had WCW on.
That'd be hilarious. Just a big X over the screen.
Yeah, Hooters had wrestling.
Oh, okay. There's not a lot of wrestling-related bars or themed bars in the area. If anyone knows of any in the area, please let us know.
Did you saw Ric Flair versus Bray Wyatt in MSG in 2014 main event?
Is that a thing?
If it is, no, I did not.
No, absolutely not.
What's up, Terrell? Hey, what's up, Riff Thing? I think I will go ahead and ask this question for you. Andy, young man up in Canada, he's a young guy, and he's decided that he's been told that Ric Flair is one of the greatest wrestlers of all time, if not the greatest.
Okay.
So he has made it a mission to definitely do a lot of, and he's done a lot of great research, playlist on Ric Flair and all that. He is all about Ric Flair. So he wants to know, like, the best parts of Ric Flair, best Ric Flair matches. The Steamboat match, we've all told him. Like,
it doesn't count.
We told him plenty of times.
My classic, this is a
Oh,
area
no,
of
don't say
contention.
it. People have said that one, too.
But, I mean, that's my one. That's
what's
the
your
number
two?
one.
Or
Number
3,
two.
or at this point, 3 or 5 or wherever we're going.
Anything with him with Sting, any match with him with Sting, the chemistry off the charts, but it's the HBK one. Retirement.
Does Charlotte and the New Day are overrated? Ooh, that's an interesting question. And what's up, Immortal Remus? Bring back WWE New York Times Square. I'm in. If they shoehorn Cena and AJ versus Nakamura match, then NJPW needs to take over America right now.
Well, you have to let TNA finish taking over WWE first.
Or just let TNA finish, I think
Just
is more accurate. Give us real wrestling. Okay.
Ghosts, goblins.
Ghosts, goblins. All right, so I'm sorry, what was that?
The Charlotte question, the Charlotte and the New Day question. I don't necessarily think that they're overrated. I just, at some point, there's only so many avenues you can go. I think they need to freshen up, especially the New Day, don't get me wrong. I think having them with the Usos has been great for both teams because more edge for the New Day being involved with the Usos, and the Usos get the rub being in there with New Day. So I think that works. And Charlotte, they have not done a very good job with the SmackDown roster elevating any other women.
Or just in general, I say, right now.
So Charlotte's what we have right now.
For me, which is a better ring skills and who, to me, Brock Lesnar is definitely a better wrestler than Batista. And I like Batista as a person better. So I'm just saying, as a wrestler, I go to Brock. You?
Brock pre-return, yes. Brock pre-return, yes.
I'm looking at the whole.
You're looking at the whole then yes. Definitely Brock Lesnar. Although Batista definitely gets lambasted. He's not bad. It's just he's limited.
He's stock footage to me. He's that
exactly. Yeah.
Like when you pick which style of wrestler you want, Powerhouse, the default video game setting guy, that's Batista.
That's the move set.
Yeah, that's who you get.
Pretty much.
So for me, Charlotte Flair, I don't think it's the thing is like. The New Day and the Usos, fantastic, but yeah, I'm over it. Like enough, and enough is enough. The New Day, I don't think is overrated. I think the problem is their act is waning. Charlotte, I don't think is overrated either. I'm a pretty big Charlotte fan. I understand that she can botch. She's slightly botchy for someone at her level. Okay,
she's also fairly green by comparison.
By comparison, yes. And
we're judging because the wrestling has become so good in the past few years. The curve that people are being judged on is way higher than it used to be.
Also, and especially for me, a big thing I take into consideration is the fact that she does have a unique body type, and it's hard and it's difficult when your body type is not like other people's. It's kind of hard to work your way around it, and it goes both ways. One, if you're on the smaller side, if you're on the bigger side, if you're on the heavier side or the slimmer side, it can be difficult working with people. So I understand that takes a certain adjustment period, and I couldn't agree with you more that it's a rough go about because women's wrestling specifically has blown up in the past couple of years. Not even that long. It's just been a very short amount of time. So how do you really grade this? How do you really judge this? I think that's a great point.
The curve is hard.
Andrew Huntley, that is good. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you think would win 2014, Batista or 2013 Rock? Who do I think would win or should win? And in a fight or in...
Yeah, in an acting contest? I mean, they're both successful actors. The Tooth Fairy 4. We get another Tooth Fairy movie with both of them in it. Is
Alexa Bliss the biggest heel around right now during her matches with... my Amazon Echo goes berserk? Her heelish antics. Here's the thing, like her and The Miz are the obvious answers to me, but both of them are kind of getting over now. So
yeah, it's tough. It's a point where if you're too good at your job, people start to recognize that
Right.
you're that good at it. So they start to like you for being good at being a bad guy, because there's not that many great heels right now. It's easier to be a babyface. Everyone will tell you that. It's harder to be a heel. Miz, for me, is the most consistent character of the past probably 3 years in terms of top to bottom. The guy should be in the main event picture. I don't think he wants to be. You had pointed that out. I think he's pretty happy where he is right now, elevating the IC title. But Alexa Bliss, she's somebody who knows how to handle any situation in terms of, in front of the mic or her character. She owned the what chance. She paid her dues with that. So anytime she's on the mic, she's going to generate some sort of heat.
Yeah, it's gonna drive me crazy.
Move in. We're gonna get close.
NWO versus DX. Oh, I just realized I'm like all right up at that microphone. NWO versus DX during the Monday Night Wars. Which was a cooler stable? Oh well, so here it comes. I'm NWO all the way.
See, I'm NWO to a point. Once you start getting Horace Hogan involved, then it starts to get a little bit diluted. The thing that DX had that made it great was 5 guys. That was it. You know what I mean? That's all that. Well, Rick Rude as well. Just can't get him out of there too. And one lady, don't forget. But it got diluted after a while.
The first lady.
The first lady. No, that's Miss Elizabeth. She will always be the
I thought
first
that
lady.
was the lady you were talking about.
I was talking about China.
Oh.
And
Wait.
DX.
Oh, I was talking about Elizabeth and the NWO.
Oh,
see, we weren't okay.
there
Never
we go.
mind. Yeah, that's why I was talking about the first lady. Yeah.
I'm saying.
All right, never mind. We weren't even remotely on the same page.
I'm saying that DX had a more consistent run, but NWO had the higher, more impactful run on the business.
And I do want to.
They sold more merch.
I will. Yes, but I will point out that DX's merchandise sales started going up after a specific person left.
Stop it. We're not going to do this again. I'm a Shawn Michaels guy. He's a Bret Hart guy. It's just
I'm right and he's wrong.
I don't think that's true.
I think that is true.
Although, now we'll watch the comments explode.
No, because here's the thing is, like, a lot. Yeah, I get people defending Shawn Michaels on the channel, but a lot of people will say, "Oh, I thought it was the only one."
No, there's a lot of people who think that way.
Wait, yeah,
and you're not wrong. You're just inaccurate.
No, correct. I'm sorry that you had the stomach flu, Nathan Norman, but glad you were here. Hope you're feeling better.
One word, Virgil. He's absolutely that lowers the NWO stock.
See, I hear what you guys are saying. Nice taps. All right. I hear. See, here's the thing about the NWO for me. Like, I get you that it's being watered down, and my big one was Rodman. Like, that's my big. I'd rather Disco Inferno be in than Rodman, and I'm not 100% sure I mean that, but
there were so many splinter groups. You didn't know who was going to wind up. At a certain point, it got out of hand, and then you had NWO 2000 with Jeff Jarrett.
That doesn't count.
It does count.
No, it doesn't.
Under the banner. How does it not count?
No, just like the Nickelodeon DX doesn't count as DX.
Okay, all right. Well, if that doesn't count, then DX moves up just a little bit by average.
What is the worst city in North America that you've been? What you've asked this last time that I've been in? I don't want to like dump on any city either. So
Cleveland.
Jeez. But
he's the nice one.
But what I was going to say is NWO. I get it. They had a lot of bad members. I understand that.
Yeah.
But part of me, what I took from it was that NWO was taking over WCW. So they can't just have 5 people and then take over the company.
Oh, yeah.
I like the idea that they were like the Borg, spreading out and absorbing everybody. Like, I thought the inevitable conclusion would have been, I wanted Sting to win at Starrcade 97 and then start pushing them back. They splinter up and they break apart. Nash and Hogan start feuding. But then, eventually, the reveal becomes they came back together.
Yeah.
And then they retake over. And then WCW gets destroyed and NWO gets rebranded as NWO for a brief period of time.
So basically WWE 12, the Jacob Cass story where NWO takes over.
Play it. But if that's the case, yes, then give me that story.
But they didn't do that.
But that's what I wanted. But that's what they didn't. But that's what I'm saying. Like, I like the idea of them taking over. And they should have had a clear delineation for me about here's the real NWO and here's the little lackeys that we absorb.
They did. It's called Disco Inferno. And Horace Hogan and Virgil.
No, but I mean a clearer line. Like, they don't get to wear the real shirts. They'll have like a lower tiered shirt or something.
Like they did to the LWO?
Yeah, but I don't think well, no, not like that, but yeah, not as racial as all
Yeah.
that, but yeah. But like, yeah,
But they were a subgroup. They technically counted.
But you hear, but that's kind of what I mean, but not not
Blatant.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. I like had they executed it that way,
Yeah.
then it would have been the greatest storyline of all time.
Well, yeah, but I'm just saying this is why I don't like completely knock them for having guys like Horace Hogan,
But
or
they were
I don't know where this one goes, but Norton.
Yeah.
Some people will say he's great, and some people will say he's garbage.
Who's saying that he's great?
A lot of New Japan fans.
Wow. They're in the minority.
And Chucky, if Chucky's still in the room, he's probably going to lose his mind. I didn't say one thing one way or the other, Chuck. I'm just pointing out that some people are not Norton fans.
Just convince me.
I think Chucky left because he would have been losing his mind right now. He's a huge Scott Norton fan. NWO was a threat. DX were a joke. That's not a bad comparison to me. I think that's fair. Do you remember Team Canada during the dying days of WCW? Absolutely. I remember everything about Canada.
Felix Skipper. Come on, Lance Storm.
What's wrong with Lance Storm?
No, that was great. Team Canada. I loved it.
Oh, okay. The way you said it, I wasn't sure.
Some of the dying day stuff of
Yes.
WCW was fantastic, especially the in-ring stuff. I actually enjoyed some of the New Blood stuff. I liked Hogan. Yeah, I liked Hogan versus Kidman. I thought that whole thing was fantastic.
That's my argument for when people say Hogan is as bad as someone else in terms of backstage politics. I'm like, well, last I checked, someone put over Kidman.
Yeah.
And they say
he gets one every decade, though.
The wall. He put over the Warrior. I'm just saying.
He also put over, with the exception of Warrior, he put over guys that were going nowhere. They weren't going to do anything with them.
But I think that's what putting over is, and he didn't just put over his friends, like someone else,
like some people.
Like some people. I'm just saying Hogan put over. He jobbed when he was told to job, and
unless your name was Jeff Jarrett or Booker T.
Well, all right.
Come on.
No, that's fair.
Yeah.
Now Booker T, I think Booker T is very underrated.
I agree.
He definitely was underrated. Like for years I said he was the most underrated wrestler of all time for a while. Then WWE decides to strike and make that a contest.
King Booker.
Yeah, oh, jeez. But Jeff Jarrett, look, I just don't think he's a main event guy.
Oh, look at this from Nathan Norman. I think that's what that says. Los Boricuas and the Truth Commission are a bigger threat than DX. Come on.
That is true.
The Jackal?
Yes.
Really?
They're seeking the truth.
Cyrus?
Yeah. You saw what he destroyed ECW. He's a threat. And
Don Callis.
Also, the NW buried two promotions. I don't know about that.
They also helped revive one.
Yeah, that's kind of the thing.
Yeah.
That's why they kind of get a pass on that. WrestleMania 19 was great. Oh, absolutely, it was great. Yes, that's my big thing about hating Triple H is WrestleMania 19. I'm like, that storyline had to go Booker T winning, and the fact that it didn't really drove me crazy. And we finally got to see, the Harlem Hangover, Houston Hangover, whatever you want to call it, come back. He hadn't done that in a while. It was like, if he had won
with the
Harlem, I would have, like the WCW guy in me would have just like went through the roof. And I really thought that's how it was going to happen. And then when he lost,
it's how it should have happened.
Yeah,
it would have made the most sense.
And he was wearing Triple H was wearing those stupid purple trunks that night.
He was trying something. He was going through a phase.
Yeah, clearly.
He was going through a phase.
Oh man, I was sewing. Natural Born Thrillers were good too. They are my tantamount. When everyone wants to say the Nexus was that young up and coming group that they completely ruined, I say that's true.
Hold on.
But Natural Born Thrillers was first. They are the proto Nexus. Yeah, Triple H
is the definition of nepotism.
Yes, Nathan Norman, I agree with that.
I enjoy most of Triple H's stuff, especially the 99 to 2001 period, which was really good. Some of his matches with Mick Foley, where Mick Foley's the guy who made Triple H, in my opinion.
Yeah, I won't argue that.
Yeah, those matches, that run of the Royal Rumble, No Way Out, and even WrestleMania 2000 to an extent. The main event that Chris Jericho should have been in.
Yes, but I didn't. That ended the tradition for me of WrestleMania is like Christmas. You put up with all the garbage and nonsense they do all year long because the most over guy in the company wins that belt at that day. Yep. That's how it works.
That's how it should work.
And Triple H was the first guy to break that streak. Technically Yokozuna did, but he lost to Hulk Hogan within 30 seconds, so I don't think he counts. So let's just...
And I'm not a Bret Hart guy, but I will give you this. That is one of the worst finishes ever. With Brett just like, no, it's okay, Hogan. Take my moment. It's fine. With the it makes me very mad. And I'm not a Bret Hart. I love Bret Hart. He's probably third on my list all time.
Oh, I didn't know that.
He's third on my list all time. It's just sometimes he's a little bit too sad for me. With justification.
I'm just saying, if you're going to talk about who they are outside of the ring, then how could you like Shawn Michaels?
I don't. No, exactly.
That's the thing. He's like...
No. I try to like them in a vacuum.
Right. My thing is, I've said it before, is like, if I like who you are in the ring, I don't care about what you've done backstage. But if I don't like you, then it's more fuel for the fire now. Like, I'll bring up everything that you've done that I don't like as more reasons why I don't like you. And that's the thing. I just feel Shawn Michaels is a guy who works in the promotion, as a guy who works in the business. Like, how do you not fire him? Shawn Michaels several times over is my thing. Like, I know I bring up the money thing a lot, but my thing is, his backstage attitude, he's difficult to work with. He didn't really like putting a lot of people over other than his buddies. You know, he broke kayfabe with the curtain call, the Marine. He disrespected a serviceman. Like, how does that not bother you? And some people say that's a lie. That's not even true. He just did that to give Scott Hall the belt because he didn't want to put over Shane Douglas.
A lot of that is Vince is always looking for who's next. And during that volatile time with everything going on, steroid scandal, all that stuff going on, I think he just bet on a horse that he wasn't sure of, and he committed. Yeah. And then once he was there, he was like, I have to go through with it.
Oh, Roman Reigns factor. But I'm just saying, like, either he lied about, getting in the fight with Marine, or he did get in a fight with Marine. So he's by disrespecting somebody who was an enlisted man, and on top of that, messing with somebody's girl, and on top of that, he's a wrestler, a professional wrestler, when kayfabe was not dead yet.
Was not dead yet.
And you lost a fight to a non-wrestler. No. How do you push that guy? Well, to be fair,
if you were going to lose a fight to a non-wrestler, a Marine is a pretty good one to choose.
Well, fine. But, I mean, how do you not... If you know there's a guy who got in a real fight, and he better win, and if he doesn't win during this time period... You have to make him a joke. You can't push this guy as your champion knowing that there is a non-wrestler out there who could kick this guy's ass and win the title.
I guess I see where you're going, but the kayfabe was downtrending.
But it wasn't dead yet.
It was getting.
I'm just pointing out all the incidences that says you fired this guy, and the only justification that people would have, like, let's say Hogan did all this crap. Okay. Well, Hogan makes money. Or if Austin does this crap, like, okay, fine, Austin did some terrible things, and they covered up for it. Because you cover up for it because he makes you money. Shawn Michaels doesn't even do that. That's why I bring up the money. So it's like...
He makes money. It's just not that much.
All-time low. Never has WWF ever been as close to bankruptcy until when he was in that area.
That was the business at the time.
Not for WCW, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, because, they were doing something different. They were doing something new.
WWF, since rising to the top, never lost that top spot before or since.
Are you telling me that the main events that WCW was putting on at the time were worse than Shawn Michaels and Sid Vicious and Sid?
No.
That's terrible. Like, look who you're putting in the ring. The only person who's had worse main events thrown at him, bags of rocks to carry, is The Undertaker.
Well, maybe you don't put one of those people in the main event.
Yes, not Shawn Michaels. Are you arguing that Shawn Michaels can wrestle?
I think he's a performer. I don't think he's a wrestler.
We disagree.
Like, look at Dolph Ziggler. He's a real-life, amateur, legitimate wrestling champion. Shawn Michaels can't whip cream. All right.
I'm sure he could whip cream. Come on.
I mean, backstage, Brett would beat him pillar to post. But it's like the guy was just a whiner. He doesn't really know how to kick ass.
But that's part of wrestling. That's part of it. Dolph Ziggler kills himself off.
Right.
He oversells everything.
Well, he learned... That's the template that was set by Shawn Michaels.
Look, and every Dolph Ziggler match, he sells like HBK versus Hogan 2005.
And it's not that bad.
It's pretty bad. He kills himself off. Everything looks devastating.
I mean, I hear you, but that template, and I feel Sami Zayn's guilty of that too. That template comes from Shawn Michaels taking a beating, big comeback. You keep up, kick, and win. And, like, that dramatic story. But it's the same story to me. And that's, like, every Shawn Michaels match is that same dramatic build. I get it. He was the first to really do it that way. And so I'm not griping on that. It was a dramatic story that he told. Good for you. But I think Shawn Michaels overtold that story, like, too many times because he went to it because it was his go-to and he understood it worked.
My only issue with Shawn Michaels, which doesn't put him as the number one overall wrestler on my list is his storylines were not very great. They were not very good. But then again, with the exception of 97 for Bret Hart, his stories weren't that great either. I mean, what? Lex and him.
The Bulldog.
That was that was good.
I was going to say.
But they kind of killed that.
Oh, and speaking of which, and Shawn Michaels refusing to let Bulldog win for his sister, I mean,
we just have to agree to disagree.
It's just he's such an ass. Like, he is such an awful person. But
I don't think he thinks Seth Rollins is dangerous.
Well, I'm just saying, that Sting Undertaker match we're not getting, well, it's thanks to the Kingslayer.
It's not thanks to him, because we had that opportunity. It's thanks to Triple H. That's who it's thanks to. We should have had that match.
That's fine. And I've said it before, I don't need that Undertaker Sting match, but I know so many people want it that
it would have been great.
Yeah, I believe you give the people what they want. Yeah. So, even if I don't like something, I understand if people want it, you give it to them. With the exception of Shawn Michaels stuff, that just gets stricken from the record.
Shawn Michaels comeback, it's coming.
I really don't think so. I think he's done.
Yeah, I think he's done.
And that's one thing I will give him, the fact that he stayed gone.
Yeah.
But he's not Terry Funkton.
His second run, when he came back, is one of the best bodies of work in ring I think I've ever seen. In terms of that period, coming back from the street fight.
But what about, let's say Hogan when he turned heel?
I don't consider that he wasn't gone for a long period of time. He just switched characters. And that was...
Oh, so you mean a guy who...
took
how many people have taken a prolonged period?
Not many.
That doesn't happen. I mean, if I want to get super wrestle nerd, I can say Big Daddy. Because that is actually a correct answer.
Maybe...
Because he retired, and he came back and became more popular than ever. So if you want to put it technically, Big Daddy in England is a better run. So shout out to England, Mortal Remus, Oliver Train.
For all those people out there, maybe CM Punk
I have tons of British fans.
Oh, yeah?
I have tons of British fans. So, and the nicest comment I ever got, I have 2 videos out there currently, 2, and probably more on the way, 2 about British wrestling. And I got one comment where some guy said, I am a lifelong wrestling fan, and I'm British, and I didn't even know most about this. So, you know what? Good on you. Cheerio, mate. He's like...
It's definitely getting more... That style in the history of British wrestling is definitely getting more recognized now in the States.
What's up, Mario? And the thing is, I've done 2 videos, and I haven't even covered Bulldog or Regal.
Wow.
And I have not even gotten to that yet.
Yeah. William Regal is definitely in my top 5.
Yeah. And it's not... I talked about Regal before. It was just when talking about my British stuff, I have a time frame. I'm looking at it. And I don't want to... You see the videos. Just, I don't need to keep talking about it.
Watch my game.
Who made the Montreal Screwjob?
Vince.
Do you think it's a work, or do you think it's
I think it's a work. I think it's the greatest work of all time. I believe it. I believe that will go to their dying, their deathbed. And I'm okay with it.
I do not know. I'm torn. Because I think about it one way, I think another. Because some people talk about the punch being fake. My thing is, if it was fake, I think Vince would have taken it.
Yeah.
They're like, why didn't you see the punch? It's like, I saw him much old, 20 years later, getting headbutt by Kevin Owens. Oh, yeah. I think 20 years ago, he would have let Brett punch him.
Yeah.
So that's why I don't think that counts as evidence when people say I think the punch is fake.
It's just a feeling. All 3 guys are really smart and they all love the business. And I think that especially Bret Hart is dedicated enough to that's his lifelong piece.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, sure, it cost him a lot, but I would not be surprised. I think maybe he was planning on coming back after drawing a little money in WCW, but that never happened.
Hey, Dave Long. It's kind of my call. Thank you for asking. I'm feeling much better.
He got me sick.
No, I didn't. I was feeling mostly better, but I did a show, the improv show, which I've been kind of plugging away and mentioning here and there. I did that last night, and so a lot of that projecting brought a little bit back. So, but I'm for the most part good. But thank you for asking. Not a work, says Tap. Nice. Like I said,
we'll never know. We'll never know.
Montreal Screwjob was a work, says Jake. Oh, we started this.
There it is. It's a split.
It is. Arena Scum is a legit tag team. Okay. Will Ospreay's match makes me tired of runs and flips. That dude must be tired after his matches.
I don't like that style of wrestling personally, but there's room under the tent for everybody, so I don't I don't knock anybody for enjoying that kind of stuff like a lot of other people would.
I'm laughing because when I hear tired after matches, the first thing I think of is Nakamura's interviews in New Japan after like everything, because he always makes yeah, like he makes it sound, he sounds like a man in the desert,
selling
like,
it.
Yeah, and it's good, but it's it's like newborn babies when you see them sleeping, they look so exhausted. Like
it was so hard. All I did today was lift my head twice, and I'm done.
And that's what makes, and that's like how Nakamura sounds to me, like a newborn infant asleep. Did you see Scott Hall versus Hart family drama?
No.
Is that a documentary, or do you just mean Scott Hall's beef with like the Hart, with like Hearts and everything like that?
Yeah, is there like new drama going on?
You can't escape the Screwjob, Dave, and I think it was a work.
See, a lot of people think it's a work. I wouldn't be surprised if it was.
I'm of 2 months, because as soon as I think in one direction, you can pull me in the other one without really trying that hard. Like there's like I brought up the punchline because as soon as you bring up one, that is suspicious they didn't show it. But then you're like, well, wouldn't Vince have just taken a punch? Yeah. That's true. Vince would have taken a punch.
Unless it was a work, and then he wanted it like this.
Yeah, because the thing is, I mean, I do think, and like I think it was X-Pac or Sean Wallman, whatever you want to call him, who said it.
Or Six.
He said he thinks it's a work because he goes, both Brett and Vince are just too smart for this to happen.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
That's his number one reason for thinking it's a work. But my other thing is, if it is a work, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Scott Hall, X-Pac, you name it, have just blatantly said it was a work. I think if it was a work, I don't think they would let these guys say it that freely.
Unless that's exactly
what
they want.
And see, here's the thing.
Believe.
And this conspiracy paranoid thinking goes around and around, because you're like, unless. But there's no way. I don't think they're this geniused out that they could plan it this smartly. I mean, that's impossible.
Who knows?
I mean, maybe.
Who knows?
But HBK, see, that's the thing. I think it's a Vince and Brett thing. I don't think Shawn Michaels is part of it, unless.
See, I like how you just throw him away.
He said it. I didn't say it. Like T-Bone said it, and T-Bone's right. Scott Hall Twitter war with Bulldog wife and kids. Jeez, that's rough.
Yeah.
But because my thing is, Shawn Michaels has broken kayfabe so many times, like, so him having to, and I do think, I mean, I don't go so far to think if it is a work, I don't think all of Shawn Michaels and Brett's beef, the entirety of it was a work. I think some of it's legitimate.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I mean, if it is all a work, then
bravo, it's the greatest work of all time.
Yeah, that really is. I think some of it stemmed off of realness, and so.
But just to be able to capitalize on it so effectively and lead into, now we have Mr. McMahon here, and now we have, all of this stuff. If Bret Hart would have had a longer, more successful career in WCW, I think he would have, when his contract ended, he would have came back, would have been turned out to be a work, would have been fine.
Now, you see, Stain Bean, you are absolutely incorrect. I've done that video. If you believe it's not a work, I don't understand how anybody thinks that Brett screwed Brett, because that's just asinine thinking. It's just completely wrong. I did a 15-minute video on why that is completely false. And there's nobody who can argue anything other than that, because I have empirically proven it. Of the realness, especially the Sonny issue. Which I don't even know what the story with. I've heard reasons. I know what it is, but I've heard different reasons to why it happened. Dave, do you think WWE fans at Arena chanting TNA during Jeff Jarrett's Hall of Fame speech? If so, WWE or Jeff Jarrett acknowledge chant? I don't think they'll acknowledge it, but I don't know. Are there enough TNA fans that they'll want to do that?
I disagree. I think that they will acknowledge that time, but they'll say total nonstop action. They'll really work around it.
I mean, I haven't.
Because even using Dixie Carter with the Kurt Angle stuff, they've been more lenient with that kind of stuff. So I don't think that they'll completely not mention it, or if it's brought up, or if they're chanting it. I think there'll be a nod to it, something. I think the WWE is more self-aware in that regard. They're not self-aware when it comes to what the fans want, but they're self-aware with the fact that they can't ignore other brands as much as they used to. They're not going to call them the other guys, you know what I mean, and stuff like that anymore. And
yes, Danny in Oak Park agreed on both counts. Scott Hall called the Bulldog a failed singles wrestler. Jeez, the Hart family took exception. Huck on the kettle black. Oh, snap!
Both are correct.
Jeez.
I wouldn't say that they're both failed.
Yeah, I wouldn't say they're failed. I mean, yeah.
I don't think that either one of them lived up to the potential that, maybe Vince had for them.
And
or
I think for similar reasons.
Paper. For very similar reasons, yeah.
That's as nice as I'm going to put it.
But both held IC titles, European titles.
But yeah.
Scott Hall helped usher in one of the biggest storylines in the history of wrestling. So, not a bad career.
No, that's just the thing. I don't think because if you don't get the world title, you're necessarily a failure. I know nowadays because everybody gets it.
Yeah. It's worse because of the brand split for that philosophy.
Yeah.
Because you have more options to be a world champion.
Oh, yeah. Spoiler warning for TNA, NXT if you care. Spoiler warning. I don't think anyone cares. But yeah, so did you hear they're going to have a mid-card title for NXT?
I did hear that. I'm not sure I'm a fan of that.
People have asked me about this a lot of times. What do I feel about a mid-card title? Because I've made my love for mid-card titles very clear. I had a whole history of mid-card championships video, which I thought was fascinating. But you know, it's one of the rare ones that I was fascinated by that actually did well. Because normally, if it's a topic I think is really interesting, it's like one of the least.
It's going to be terrible, yeah.
No, or people just don't view it. People just don't view it.
I don't think it's a good idea because you don't have enough time on the show to really put it over.
That's a good point. My biggest thing is I don't think the roster's deep enough.
That too. There's not enough time. There's not enough. You use the time that you have with the divisions and the teams and the wrestlers that you have to extend them, give them more camera time. Don't just add a title. A title is not going to make somebody, especially not there. Everyone knows it's a developmental territory, and while NXT gets treated like a third brand, and in some cases it is, it's still a developmental brand.
Yeah.
You know, where do you measure success with that title?
Yes.
Where do you measure? I like the fact that they don't have that because you get personal issues more, which is something that I think is lacking on the main roster. Velveteen Dream and Aleister Black, which is my match of the year.
Yeah.
It was a personal issue.
It's between that and AJ and Finn for me, but yes, that's really close.
AJ and Cena was really good too this year.
But AJ Finn, I knew it was going to be good. It was better than I thought. Yeah. I just went crazy because they had mark out moments with the Too Sweet and everything. Like they gave you a little bit of that too, and it's that kind of style is what I prefer. Yeah. Anyway, I like indie to an extent, but I don't like a lot of spot monkey stuff. I like a lot of chain stuff. I'm a chain junkie.
And those two guys are the perfect hybrid between the two.
Right, exactly. So that's kind of
so
weird.
You don't you don't like the idea of having that title?
No, I don't. I don't think I hear you. I agree with your sentiments too. But for me, the thing is, I like having clear-cut divisions, and with how small the roster is, let's just say hypothetically, Aleister Black and Velveteen Dream was let's say it was a mid-card match. Let's just say it was for a mid-card title. Well, now Aleister Black is moving up to the main event with Cien Almas on the next takeover. But here's the problem. With NXT's time frame, it's also in a really small vacuum. They have very quick turnover. You get introduced, then you get the title. They're not. Everything is on a very, very fast amount of time.
It's preparing you for the main roster. That's the only purpose NXT has.
So having a mid-card belt, when do you graduate to getting a mid-card belt? When you show up, oh wait, Ethan Carter. Oh, it's happening already. And then when and Ricochet, it happens already. And then when you get the NXT title, a week after that, it's just too fast, and they don't have enough people. Mr. 24-Hour Hardcore Championship, I don't know. I thought it was humorous, but I wasn't a fan of that. I'm glad it's gone, but I mean, don't get me wrong, the nostalgia fan in me says maybe if they brought it back for a little bit, but still. Are you sure you didn't watch Total Divas? I am sure.
I did. I've seen every episode. I don't know why.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just one of those things that I started watching, and it was just you're staring at the screen. And I have the biggest crush on Renee Young, so once she wound up on the screen, it just was hard to put down. There's a woman who they need to find something more to do with her. They are wasting that woman's time.
Should have done commentary on the Mae Young Classic. Yep, and the fact that she didn't is my number one beef with that.
The fact that she doesn't have a job in NXT calling matches or anywhere calling matches, she's fantastic. I really hope they find a spot for her.
You know what? I wouldn't mind. I don't think it will happen, but it'd be nice if when Cole retires, she took his spot.
I think that would fit.
I think it would fit. Exactly. I think it'll fit. I don't think it'll happen, but anyway.
Well, maybe I'll take his place.
Mm-hmm. Now, one thing I'm not sure about, but I think one of the first female commentators, at least for WWE, if not the first, I think was Mary Hart.
Yeah.
From Entertainment Tonight, because she called wrestling. She was calling her.
As long as they don't bring in Maria Menounos anymore. Enough. I don't know why you're here.
Do you think Carmella cashes money in the... Okay, let's get we will get to the pay-per-view predictions. Don't get me wrong. Let me do that every episode, dude. You have issues. Okay. My thing, my number one... Oh, yeah. My thing about Total Divas is, so they really totally put the kibosh on the whole storyline with Dolph Ziggler, Lana, and Rusev, and Summer Rae. Yeah, Summer Rae.
Who?
But they did it because they revealed that they were engaged in real life. But then they go on Total Divas and she doesn't use her Russian accent.
Yeah,
that's okay.
Like,
why are you going to penalize them?
Which kayfabe is good, and which kayfabe is not. Yeah.
That's my thing. Happy Rusev Day unto you. Only I will remain. Okay. Jokes forever back then. Okay, so all right. Let's do the Fastlane stuff.
Still getting over it.
Still getting over it. Yeah, like I was mostly fine, like before the show, and then all the shouting and everything got me. All right, so let's go into the card. Now we're gonna do the betting predictions, and now that I got Steve here, we're actually let's both do it. Why not?
All right.
So for the first time, I'm gonna have pay-per-view predictions. Okay, let's start with Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. As we said, we're not really all that enthusiastic about this pay-per-view.
This is a throw. Yeah. What's worse, this suffers also from "Are we there yet?" syndrome. We just want to get to WrestleMania. Are we there yet? So
no.
This is that spot.
No, and I definitely have a lot of things to say about what's been going on in wrestling. I forgot. There's like so many things floating in my head right now. They let some, and I'll get back to it later. Okay, so let's just
you can see the wheels spinning. It's like, I'm so frustrated right
now. Okay, because I don't remember some people's names. Okay, so first match that we're going to talk about: Becky Lynch and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella at Fastlane. Wow, look, another women's match for SmackDown. They're giving it a chance for a change.
And what do you know? It's a multi-person match. This is my issue with women's wrestling, especially now on SmackDown. Mm-hmm. Just glom a bunch of women together and see what happens. There's no issue between these women. There's no real time given to who these people are.
Right.
The four women in this opening match have had nothing going for them the past 3-4 months. There's no heat to this match. This could be main event on Ion. You know what I mean? Opening match, main event, Ion TV.
And that's my thing. It's like when NXT or other programs, you see people who are doing good, you see people who are getting momentum, and then you understand why they get to be a contender for a championship. With this would be right thing, okay, because she won a match last week or 2 weeks ago. Now she's number one contender. She gets to go against Charlotte. Like, sure, why not? Like, I don't care because I have no reason to be invested. But anyway, enough of me complaining about this. Becky Lynch versus Naomi and Naomi versus Natalya and Carmella. Who you got?
I'm going to go with Becky Lynch and Naomi.
So am I, but this is a coin flip because it doesn't matter. And that's the other thing. The hardest things for pay-per-view predictions, I think, are the know-nothing, who-care matches.
Yeah, because you
they
never
can go anyway.
They can go either way.
Yeah. It's like the main event, that's easier. Like, this is always the tough one. So let's see what the...
Vegas odds?
Yeah, I don't know if they're Vegas odds, but they are odds.
Is it even not?
It's not even on this. Okay, all right, that's even better.
That's how important this match is. It's not. It doesn't even have odds.
That's depressingly sad. That's so sad. Do that make sense? No, it does not make sense. Should you put a banner on the graphic? I missed it. Fastlane, it got the lamest pay-per-view. Great Balls of Fire was a lamer name, but it turned out to be a better pay-per-view.
Yeah, Fastlane is just, how can we appeal to NASCAR fans?
Other than Bob Holly.
Bring back Sparkplug.
I'm only worried for AJ keeping the belt. Clarence Rice, I have seen worse. Okay, the Riot Squad and Absolution. Okay, so next match. Nakamura versus Rusev.
This has my stamp of this could be Dark Horse match of the night. I think that this could be a fantastic match.
Yeah.
There's no way Nakamura loses this match. I'm sorry for all you Rusev Day fans. It's not going to happen.
Yeah. It's extremely stupid if you're going to get the guy who's definitely going to be in a title match at WrestleMania and you have him lose.
You kill off his heat.
Right. It's just way too stupid. Although that is their formula for Money in the Bank.
It's definitely something that's possible.
Yeah, like that is their formula for Money in the Bank. Hey, one Money in the Bank. Oh, he's bulletproof now. You can let him lose all you want.
Hey, Carmella.
Yeah.
How you doing, girl?
So we'll get to her. But yeah, Nakamura Rusev, the same thing. It's 100% going to be Nakamura.
Do you like the pairing of him and Aiden English?
No, I think the Rusev thing is funny, but I don't think it requires Aiden English.
Yeah, I think they attached him to him to give him something to do.
Yeah. Wow. No odds for this one either. That's
another throwaway.
I swear there are odds coming. Next, there are definitely odds for this match. Okay, so Charlotte Flair, the champion, versus Ruby Riott, singles match. Came from out of nowhere. Who's your pick?
I would bet my foot right now that Charlotte retains. My entire foot.
I would bet your foot, too, that Charlotte retains.
A whole foot. So
your whole foot.
If Ruby Riott wins, next time Dave's going to have to do a video of me hopping around with one foot because I don't think that there's no way. It makes no logical sense. Spock from Star Trek's brain would explode if Ruby Riott
I was thinking if you had no foot and you had a peg leg with the beard and everything, you would make a pretty good pirate.
Your ideas intrigue me, and I'd like to subscribe to your newsletter.
So let's see what the odds are. Yeah,
those odds are perfect.
The odds don't even technically make sense, but it's 1-1. Charlotte's winning, so that's like a guaranteed 100%. But yet 100%. Ruby Riott has 19-1. There is an outside chance 11-9, which is okay-ish that Carmella's cashing in and winning.
That doesn't make much sense from a storyline perspective to me. They haven't really done much.
I don't think it's a storyline. I think it's just we need to cash it in sooner or later kind of thing.
But if she doesn't, what's there for Charlotte for WrestleMania?
Right. See, that's the thing. There are rumors saying that Asuka didn't really declare who she's going against after winning the Rumble because,
awkward point lady.
Yeah, was there. But so
she can go after both of them and win both.
But I heard that. See, here's the thing. So I heard that Nia Jax and Alexa Bliss are the plan for Raw, and that Asuka and Charlotte are the plan for Mania,
which I would be absolutely fine with. That would be fantastic.
Rumor has it that Charlotte is going to break the streak.
I would be okay with that too.
It's something I didn't consider,
and that's when you cash in.
Yeah,
after Charlotte wins and breaks the streak, because the amount of crap that Carmella could talk after that, because by the transitive property of wrestling, if you beat Charlotte after she's beaten Asuka, you've also beaten Asuka. That's how wrestling works.
Well, here's the thing that would be disappointing to me. When Seth Rollins cashed in versus Brock and Roman Reigns, which is a match nobody needs at WrestleMania, ever.
We're getting it.
Yeah, again. When Seth cashed in, I think that was a good way to save the main event.
I enjoyed that match. I didn't have a problem with it.
But did you want Roman Reigns winning? Or did you want Brock winning?
I didn't care.
See, I mean,
I was indifferent towards the whole thing. They didn't do a very good job selling me on either of them.
Because, that's my thing. I didn't think either one of them deserved to walk away with that belt at WrestleMania. So the fact that someone who wasn't the two of them got it was good to me. So I thought it saved it.
It gave them at least 6 months extra story right there.
But if Carmella cashes in and turns Charlotte versus Asuka into a triple threat, that is not okay with me. That ruins it.
You think after the fact? I don't think.
No, after the fact is fine. But if they turn into a triple threat, that's not good. That's no bueno.
That's like putting a hot dog on top of filet mignon. Like, wow, that would have been great if I didn't eat it.
It was a good idea when I was drunk.
Breaking the fourth wall. Hi, Colt Cabana.
There's certain things, so that is ruining it. So I hope they don't do that.
I agree. I still like Dana Brooke as well.
I like her for what she is. I mean, I'd be the first one to admit I don't like her style of wrestling, but I think she has a purpose. And I've done a video talking about that. So what am I going? Flacco, I'm swimming in the same. I'm swimming while watching live stream. Awesome.
Nice.
Also, The Miz should be the...
Usually when I watch myself, I just drop the live stream in the bathtub.
Also, The Miz should be the main event someday. You mean again? Yes, he does work really hard.
The Miz is my favorite right now. He's definitely the most consistent character.
Me too. Triple Lerp. My favorite cute little peanut.
Talk about Dana Brooke.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Yeah. Kenny Omega versus CM Punk dream match. That's an interesting one.
I think that it would be a pretty good match, but that's a match that I would like to see built over time. The thing that I don't like about these really big marquee matches is they just drop them in and
Jericho,
then that's it.
Omega.
Yeah,
but that was hyped hyped okay.
Even AJ Nakamura. Like, if this is a one-off,
but it's
I'm not going to be happy
but
about that.
But it's working on the pretext that you understand these two men's history.
Yes.
Where Kenny Omega and Jericho really had no history other than what they created.
We understand that history.
Yeah.
But the WWE fans and the pool is much bigger. Wrestling fans now are more educated than ever.
Yeah.
But the gap is still pretty big.
Well, here's a question. We'll take a time out from this, the Fastlane thing. But I did this as a video with Brian Zane over on Wrestling Regret collaboration, the great wrestling debate. When it comes to wrestling, if you're a WWE fan, where does the obligation come for you to learn about what's going on outside the company? Is it WWE's obligation to tell you, the fans, or is the fans' obligation to do their own research?
I think it's the fans' obligation to go do the research. I mean...
One more vote for me, Zane.
No one's telling you how to consume wrestling. I don't want to be told how I should consume it or what I should consume. Going out and finding out, that's half the joy.
Yes.
Discovering it on your own.
Right.
So
I agree. Okay, so that's another vote for me.
Sorry.
So that's okay. His views are the videos for his views are by far bigger for mine. So I think he went
for now.
Yeah, it's like I read that because I read both. I skimmed comments. I read all my comments. I've skimmed. He's got so many more comments. So I read my comments, and a lot of people said I was right. A couple of people said I was wrong. I read Zane's, and most of them were like,
he's right.
No, most of them were like, that guy Dave should kill himself.
So jeez.
He's like, please stop collaborating with him. I don't want to watch a channel. He sucks. So
it's like Christmas dinner in my house.
So yeah. So by certain math, a lot of people said I was right, and other people said I should kill myself. But they weren't saying I was wrong necessarily.
That's true.
Yeah. They're saying I don't want to watch this stuff, and I'm not going to, but whatever.
They were saying they don't want you to live anymore, not that you were wrong.
Yeah, so they're not saying I was wrong. Hey, don't worry about C122.
Better late than never.
Where was you yesterday, Dave? Hey, Train, yeah, on the Twitter machine. You saw it. I was I'm at my improv troupe show yesterday.
Took a bump, too.
Not as good as Train. Train is a wrestler himself over in England.
Hey.
Okay, yeah. This is Stephen James, and you can find him at
CapitalWrestling.com, Capital Wrestling's anniversary show, March 24th, 301 Garden Street in Hoboken, New Jersey. Come down. I do the play-by-play for Capital Wrestling. It's a great time, great event. Bring the kids, bring your grandma,
The odd part
bring
is
everybody.
Usually one of the guests I have on the show, Albert Albanese, who you've met.
Yeah.
And we do commentary on Raw because we just turn on the TV and we can't hear it, but we just start watching it. And now I have an actual wrestling commentator here, and we're just doing a regular live chat. So,
yeah.
Yeah. And Train is hysterical. He always talks back to Albert, and Albert just sits there and he doesn't know what to say. Like, he always shuts Albert up, and it cracks me up. It's hysterical. Oh, and I am Train's manager.
Yes, Capital was it was the Capital Wrestling Corporation back
You guys are sharp. I love how you catch that. Good call, Nathan Norman. I said the same thing.
Yep. Shh, don't tell the boss.
Oh, Steve, I'll be following you for sure. Awesome.
Thanks.
He's a great guy.
Dave.
Okay, so yeah, that's right. The Fastlane, that's what we're doing.
Yeah, we got to.
So Ruby Riott, okay, and the Carmella thing.
Yeah,
I don't think she'll be cashing in. I don't know when she will.
If it's the Asuka thing, I think that she should and will cash in, but it will be a post-match thing, not a match like I'm cashing this in. This is a triple threat now, because that would be like painting lipstick on a pig.
Yeah, like. It wouldn't make sense storylines, but it wouldn't have been bad if she cashed in on Raw. I don't think that's possible, but if she cashed in on Raw...
Although they've never specified.
Right. If she cashed in on Raw after Alexa Bliss won the Elimination Chamber.
That would have been okay. Both of them, both Alexa Bliss and Carmella are both, limited in the ring to be kind.
Yes. But they don't have to go at it ever again. She just cashes in and that's it.
Well, I think, like I said, the transitive property of wrestling... That's a lot of heat. If you steal that moment away from Charlotte and from Asuka, they have a 5-star match, which they're both capable of putting on. Charlotte beats the record, retains the title, celebrating, fireworks, you name it, all the hubbub, and then Carmella comes out.
The question, when will the first 5-star women's match happen? Or will that never for WWE? Will that never happen?
Would you maybe
Will Meltzer ever give a women's match 5 stars?
I don't know. I mean, it was
and I'm not trying to accuse Meltzer of being sexist. I'm just
wondering, asking that question.
I just realized the way that sounded. That's not what I meant, but yeah.
I think that I'm not a big fan of rating systems and stuff like that. I don't pay them any mind, especially when you give out a 6-star match for a match that was it was a really good match. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
it's not. It's not better. It's not better than Flair Steamboat. That's just crazy.
It's not better than Savage Steamboat.
Yeah. No.
It's not better than Hart and Austin.
Yeah,
it's not.
We gotta finish this bit because we were so not paying attention to it. Okay. Anyway, so
ghosts again.
Yeah. Moving next. Okay, the Usos, the champions, versus the New Day for the WWE SmackDown Tag Team Championships.
New Day.
So who you got?
I think the Usos retain. I think that's the smart move to do. They're the hottest tag team in the business right now. That's, in the majors. And yes, I only consider 2 companies to be majors. I only consider New Japan and WWE to be majors.
And I'm the same way. And
that's it.
Yeah. I'm the same thing. The Usos are going to win. I don't even want this match, to be honest. It's I've had enough. They had great matches, but just they reminded you that tag team wrestling can be good, but
the promos leading up to it would have been fantastic because a lot of them are based in real life frustrations, which is what I like. I think, like we were talking about before, the Usos have made the New Day more serious, which is something that character, that entity has desperately needed. There's only so much you could do about pancakes before you need to smack somebody in the mouth.
Right.
And this is getting them back to smacking people in the mouth.
Right. But I agree that the Usos are winning. I'm completely with you.
Well, let's go to the odds. What do the odds say?
Let's go to the odds, indeed. The Usos 7-13, and the New Day 13-7. So, yeah, the odds they're closer than I thought they would be. To be honest, I kind of thought they would be a little further apart. I thought it was kind of because I felt the same way as you did. It's going to be the Usos, but apparently
it doesn't make sense. Yeah. If I'm thinking from a booking perspective and a writing perspective, it doesn't make any sense to have the New Day win.
Yeah, the Usos are the favorite, but not by a lot, by a margin, but not as big a swing as I was thinking. But okay,
I'm just glad that it's a tag team match with just 2 teams, and they're not throwing a bunch of teams in there. Because I'm not a big fan of when they just throw a bunch of multi-man matches. So.
They should bring back Mean Mark.
I'm still waiting for the Nathan Jones comeback. Him and Heidenreich as the new Skyscrapers.
Yes, I say it all the time that the Skyscrapers were an overlooked idea.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. I know people really like the House Brothers, but Creative Control as the idea I liked.
Yeah,
they're not necessarily. They won the tag team championships, but I like the idea of just really big hired goons that are not necessarily competing for anything. Their missions are
just to hurt people.
Yes,
just to hurt people.
Kind of like what the APA was for a period of time. They did win the tag team titles, but for a period of time they were just guns for hire. They just show up, beat people up, and then leave.
Which is fantastic,
right? And that's all you need. Okay, so let's find out if we won't agree completely, and let's find out if the odds are going to stack. And because we're almost done with this card, so Bobby Roode versus Randy Orton.
Now, who do I want to win, or who do I think is going to win?
Both.
I want Bobby Roode to win.
Okay.
I'm a huge fan of Bobby Roode.
Really? You think Orton's winning it?
I do.
Wow. I don't. I will say this feud, I really like the idea of this feud. I don't think they hyped it up the way it should have been.
I agree.
But the ego, the poses, this is a great feud. It's
that's why I think Orton wins, and it extends the feud.
Because it's like Iron Man and Doctor Doom.
Yep.
They should be feuding. Their color schemes even work in contrast to each other.
They both have masks. Have you ever seen them at the same time?
They're both genius. They're both... I'm just saying it works. All right, he's got to go. Okay, so
I got to check out for another interview.
Yeah, real quick. Unless you want to give, I will say Bobby Roode is winning, and I want Bobby Roode to win. Do you want to give the 6-pack challenge?
Yeah, we'll do that real fast.
Yeah.
6-pack challenge. AJ retains. Makes no sense. The other thing that I could see is Cena winning just for the thing, but they waste that. And although I wouldn't mind seeing AJ, Cena, and Nakamura as a match.
I think if AJ loses, I think he gets it back at SmackDown before Mania.
I would be okay with that.
That's what I think.
I would be okay with that.
I don't think that will happen, but I'm saying if he loses.
The only reason why I'd be okay with that is because it would give some sort of what can happen now on SmackDown, whereas Raw has been so predictable. We've known it's going to be Brock and Lesnar for so long. This will give it, I don't know, a little goose, so to speak.
Bobby Roode is the favorite 1-3, where Randy Orton and
Randy Orton's a 3-1.
3-1. I just realized I don't need to say both because obviously he's the opposite odds. So that's why I paused. I'm like, why am I saying the other person's odds? Obviously, it's the opposite. Okay, so my prediction is that AJ Styles retains too. So the only thing we disagree on is the Bobby Roode Orton match. The favorite is AJ Styles, and for the main event, AJ Styles 1-9.
Biggest long shots are Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin.
I
would think that Kevin Owens is a bigger long shot than Sami Zayn.
Yes, Kevin Owens is 50-1 odds of winning. John Cena is 19-1. He is second place. Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, and Baron Corbin are all 100-1, which I think is kind of surprising. Because I don't know. Like, here's the thing. It's not that I disagree. It's just that I was hoping the odds makers were fooled enough to think Dolph Ziggler has more of a chance. No, they don't.
Nobody believes that.
Stephen James, thank you for having me on the show. One last time, tell everyone where they can find you.
Capital Wrestling every Monday night at 7:05, twitch.tv/Capital Wrestling. March 24th coming up is our 1-year anniversary show. I will be there with my broadcast partner, Harry Turjanian. You can catch that live on Twitch. I believe it's a 7:30 start time. Dave will be there. Come say hello if you're there. Make sure there's a velvet rope around him.
I'm at the point where I do get recognized in indie shows, which I think is pretty cool. So
I recognize him when I see him in the street.
Yeah, and he only pretends like he doesn't.
All the time.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, man. I'm not going anywhere yet. I'll hang out with you guys, especially since I'm a day late. I'll be hanging out, so don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere, man. I'm not going anywhere, Danny. Thanks again.
They're all sad you're leaving.
They're all, I'm not going anywhere. In the garden, will Bruno be there? Thank you, Devin Dunn. Thank you. I'm really always glad to hear it. Enjoy the pay-per-view, everyone. I'm not going anywhere. Danny and Old Party, if you're leaving, have a good one. Hey, what's up? What's up, Train? Okay. Where was I? Yeah. So, and when I do the pay-per-view predictions, I have fun, but then I don't remember. It's hard for me to look at the chat and keep up with the chat while I'm just clicking back and forth between looking at the odds and the other stuff. Randy Orton is a much better heel. Okay, we definitely have a video talking about that. Do you have any theories about what will unfold for WrestleMania 34? The sad part is they don't have, and like I was trying to say, we have a lot of stuff to talk about for sure. I'm really pissed that Saudi Arabia is having the Battle Royal. Well, it's not the first battle. You mean the Royal Rumble? And it's not the first Royal Rumble that has happened outside of the United States or North America. The very first Royal Rumble on 1990, the one that they call the first Royal Rumble. I have a video about the real first Royal Rumble, but the first thing they call the first Royal Rumble that they acknowledge was actually in Canada. But there was also a secret one that was held in Osaka, Japan. I have a video about that too. Who's going to win the four-way match at Fastlane? Oh, you mean it's now a six-pack challenge. Okay, it looks like Roman just been cleared of the steroid scandal. Oh, man, I thought WrestleMania 34, we were going to get that. British need something, please. I agree. A Mania in England is definitely, and now's the time. Wrestling's so big over in England, like, why not? Okay, I met Bruno Sammartino, very nice guy. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he is. Okay, so a lot of things happened that I want to talk about. So the TNA North American Championship we talked about. Let's talk about Sage Beckett and I believe Abby Lath have been let go from WWE NXT, which is disappointing for me because I actually like both of them, and I think it's a shame that both women were released. And I want to know why. Like, did they just not think they had a program for them? They couldn't fit them in anywhere? Like, what's the story? Why did they let them go? I'm good with a pay-per-view being in Saudi Arabia. Just not. Well, see, is it a pay-per-view, or are we going to get to watch it? Arthur, you said what about Trainwreck? How dare you? Yeah, you should be offended. I thought that John Bravo was full of crap. Okay. Shane McMahon and Dolph Ziggler is rumored for. Oh, jeez. It would be great to perform. Roman got a pop, but they could have Strowman in place and the new champ. Roman has to look strong. Well, as we covered last week, I think the whole Brock Lesnar hiding behind his contract thing is a work. I don't think it's legit, and I just wish they stopped trying to give us this match at WrestleMania. Stop. They have a perfect opportunity. If they do AJ Styles and Nakamura, that's a perfect opportunity for a great main event. And if they don't take it, then they are dumb. And I know they're going to put Brock and Roman as the main event instead. They should be doing AJ and Nakamura, but yeah. I'm really liking Jinder right now. Jinder has improved since losing the title, I will say that. I don't know either of them was in WWE, actually. You don't know either who was in WWE, actually. Arthur? Hey, what's up, Arthur, by the way? What about Bobby Lashley appearing after WrestleMania? Well, the rumor was he was supposed to go to Brock, but seems like they don't have anything to do with Brock right now. Roman is more boring than drywall. Yeah? Hey, what's up, man?
Hey, I hate to bother you, but
what's up?
the login for
Oh.
Adobe and all that, it's just...
Hey, where are you going and talk?
Yeah.
Sit here, entertain the people.
Okay, I'm entertaining. I'm taking over for a minute because Dave's doing stuff with things. So I don't know what you told. What about Bobby Lashley appearing after WrestleMania? I would be okay with that. I'm a big Bobby Lashley fan. I thought they should have done more with him after his TNA run. Hey, Dave. After his TNA run, I think he's hot enough to use. So we'll see. Roman is beyond get off my TV. I pity Roman Reigns at this point because they've done him such a disservice. I don't think that he's as bad as people say. I just think that they force him into that position. And for people who will say that he only has 5 moves, if you can sell tickets with 5 moves, why would you add a 6th? From a wrestler's perspective, why would you add a 6th if you can draw money with 5? There's a limited amount of things on your bump card.
You should be all good now.
Good? Mr. Fix-It. Thank you guys again. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed, Capital Wrestling. Here's Dave.
Okay. Yeah, enjoy Capital Wrestling, and you let me know if you need anything else.
Yeah, we'll do.
Okay, so if WWE buys TNA, WWE have a new invasion angle better than well, it's hard for them to be worse. Even though half of TNA is already there anyway. As I am trained as a wrestler that ultimately became an MMA fighter with a 19-3. Well, that's a good record. Roman Reigns is too punchy kicky. Yes, agree. Totally agree there, Danny. WrestleMania 36 sci-fi Omega heel versus CM Punk face. Well, that would be nice. Those 2 girls that were released, I had no idea. I didn't know they were. Well, I mean, I knew they were signed, but they weren't doing anything with them. But still, Abby Layton, if I remember correctly, was trained by Mae Young to an extent. Sage Beckett, I think, was pretty good, and great character work. And she did great before she got to WWE. So I look at it that I think it's a waste of talent. And with women wrestling being the way it is, we need to funnel more. We need to get more women involved. We need to have this. And I know SmackDown and Raw may not necessarily have all the best places to put them, but I think women need their own show. Should Bayley go ham on Sasha Banks? I want them to do something different. I do not want them to do a stereotype, and so far they're not, but I want them to do something a little more than just Bayley turn heel. I don't want Bayley turn heel. I do like a more complex story, and if they can get these 2 to go at WrestleMania, that would be great. Roman needs to know a different rest hold. Though, yes, he does, and there are a lot of guys, Nathan, who go into that category who need to learn something else. Who do you think will win the North America title? I'm a big Ricochet fan, so I hope it's Ricochet. I could see it being EC3, but in reality, it should be someone who's been there for a while. I would like, that's, I mean, but I really do like Ricochet. That's the thing. I really like Ricochet. So as much as I understand it should be a guy there, I want it to be Ricochet. What's worse, being NXT jobber or an Impact jobber? Well, I would say it's worse to be an NXT jobber, because if you were an TNA jobber, no one will ever know. We see women's wrestling brand. I kind of hope so. Dave, what do you think about mid-card championship that could be defended on both NXT and the main roster? It could be like a TV title. Well, if that's the case, if anything should be defended on both, I think it should be the NXT title itself. If you have a mid-card belt that can be defended on the main roster as well, I think that makes your main belt look weaker. So if anything, I think it should be the NXT title. If that were to happen. The fight scene in Happy Gilmore with Bob Barker and Happy Gilmore is everything I have it on the background. Too true. Okay, so let's also talk about some other things too. So the Roman Reigns. Okay, so you guys kind of got this. So Roman Reigns, you guys kind of mentioned it already. I was going to do it, but I'll back off on it. But so Roman Reigns apparently was acquitted from his charges, found completely, was found innocent or acquitted. I'm not sure, but the specific term for it. I don't remember what I just read from you guys. Today I want to celebrate the Nature Boy Ric Flair, who wasn't influenced by Slick Rick. Wait, didn't Ricochet sign for W? Yes, and Ricochet is in that mid-card title match. Last I checked. Because of that, I was going to talk about whether it was real or not. But from what I heard, is the speculation behind the steroid scandal could mean that the 34 WrestleMania match main event of Brock versus Roman Reigns was in jeopardy. That's from what I've been told, is they've been holding back because they don't know if Brock going to UFC might after WrestleMania and Roman having a possible steroid trial means their main event might be in jeopardy. So they have been postponing their plans because they don't know what to do, and they might want to work around that. But if Roman Reigns is cleared, then fine, that's going to change their plans. Wrestling needs more beer. Okay. Dropping charges, no pending trial or charges. Charges were dropped. Okay, well, unfortunately, this means the 34 match is looking stronger. Also, in other words, John Cena, his match against The Undertaker, allegedly not happening. He requested Rey Mysterio, from what I was told, and it was reported that that was not going to happen, possibly because Rey Mysterio got hurt. But now it seems that the injury was less severe than originally thought, so John Cena and Rey Mysterio still might be our main event match. Or not our main event match, our WrestleMania match. No charges whatsoever. Okay, well, man, I was kind of hoping that they would, just because I don't want that WrestleMania match. I miss heels John Cena rapping. I miss John Cena rapping too. 205 Live will separate from Raw. I hope so, and it seems it's going that way. They failed to make Undertaker versus Sting. They did fail to do that. Let's see, what else is there? Okay, so on to real fake or fake real. Let's go to SmackDown side of things, because I feel like I haven't done a SmackDown, in a while, but SmackDown has been so uneventful. Who cares? Okay, so this is what I want to talk about, and this is, once again to recap, real fake means something is real phony. Fake real means something may not be real, but you still believe it, you haven't invested. So when I say so, and only when I say so, you vote between if an issue I bring up is real fake or fake real. Is it really phony, or is it fake but you buy it anyway? That's what I'm bringing up. And so this week on Real Fake Fake Real is SmackDown If Fake Real. Tim. They failed at getting a lot of things. That they do. So the thing is, okay, so with that being said, Roman is going to get booed out of the building, but here's the question. When Roman will feud with Brock going to UFC? Dean Southern Show. Okay, so here's the thing. So the main event of Fastlane, they gave it away on free TV right before the pay-per-view. Here's what we have. The same exact match. Sami Zayn won. Is this plausible that this would ever happen? Now, I know we physically saw it, but do you believe that any GM would book this match? And do you have any belief that Sami Zayn was going to win that match? Do you have any justification for it? Is the main event of Fastlane being done on SmackDown TV from a kayfabe standpoint? Is it real fake or fake real? Please vote now. First to 5 wins, by the way. Real fake. Real fake. Fake. Real fake. Real fake. No, it's stupid that I've blown a fake real. Fake real. Okay. Real fake. Real fake. Real fake. Okay. Yeah, the real fakes have it. Okay. I'm pleasantly surprised I'm pleasantly happy about this. See, here's the thing. I didn't know which way this was going to go, because I think it's not and it's not just, is it stupid that they're doing it, or do you not like it? Which I definitely don't. I want to know, is it unrealistic? Is it unbelievable? And I know we do a lot of things like, was this powerbomb, or, was this finisher, or, was this move, or what is this match, is this win, is this believable or not? But I really want to do is the practice alone, because I don't like the physical practice of it, but I want to know, does it even make sense to you? Yeah, it's stupid. Yeah, everyone agrees. Okay, good. Just making sure, and it seems pretty universal, so there you go. It depends on different wrestlers if they're stiff or not. Okay, real fake. Real fake it is. Okay, real fake as voted by the Dave Knows Wrestling Know-It-Alls. Fastlane main event on free TV. Okay, or cable TV, should I say. What do you think about the next, who do you think will be the next UK champion? If they have run out of things to do with them on the main roster, maybe Aleister Black. Who do you think that Ricochet would have a 5-star match with WWE. I'm not even sure if he is capable of having a 5-star match in WWE. And I don't know that they would get the credit for it. But I bet you Ricochet and Cesaro will put on a heck of a show. I also think Ricochet, Finn Balor, that's also a possibility. And that taps more into the New Japan style stuff, which, Vince is, Meltzer's all about. He will return before Mania. I think I should be. Yes, you know what, Train? I agree. The UK Championship would go pretty good on a train. Okay, do you think John Cena will win the WWE Championship? No, I don't. And I also don't want him to. They should do D-Lo and build themselves from different cities in the UK. Zach Gibson should be the next UK champion. Cesaro, Rollins, Valor, Joe. Zach Gibson is awesome. All right, guys. Okay, so it's been going on for a pretty long while. Just letting you know. And I'm kind of winding down. I haven't slept much, and I got things to do. What do you think happened? What do you think would happen? Will happen? Roman Reigns did steroids. I mean, the main event after WrestleMania, at least. I don't know if they let him get to the main event because they'd have at Mania because they have to suspend him for 60 days on the second strike, and he already has that first strike. Keep that in mind. I can picture them saying something about Grimsby. The time superstar shake-up after Mania. Yeah, allegedly it's going to happen at Backlash, at an actual pay-per-view. I think Sami should win the WWE Championship. Hey, I think Sami Zayn should get a lot more than he's got. Okay, yeah, I'm beginning to wind down a little bit. So thank you so much for coming on. That was my special guest, Stephen James. Play-by-play announcer for Capital Wrestling, encourages all of you to check out Capital Wrestling on Twitch and in person if you can. Hey, guys, thank you so much for coming out on this live stream. Definitely had a lot of fun with a special guest. So many things to talk about. So many things went on this week, and definitely did the pay-per-view predictions. So enjoy Fastlane. I hope it's a pleasant surprise, better than you thought. Thank you guys for coming out. Thank you for all the thumbs up. Thank you for all the likes. You guys have been really good. Thank you so much. Have yourselves a great day. Sorry I haven't been thanking you on the likes. I've been a little distracted, but thank you for all the likes. Seriously, thank you. And what else can I say other than Dave knows?